Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Anime Podcast with your favorite hosts, me and these
me.
two.
No, just me. We did just finish watching the entire series, in fact, and decided to maybe talk about it. I guess possibly.
That's a lie, by the way.
What are we talking about?
We didn't watch the entire series. Oh yeah, we watched My Dress Up Darling, episodes 1, 4, and 8.
Your Dress Up Darling?
My Dress Up Darling, yes.
No, My Dress Up Darling.
No.
Mine.
Daddy, why isn't it My Dress Up Darling? I want him now!
I want him now!
I want him now!
I want the whole doll!
Anyway, you know what I want? I want you guys to say what you think I think of the show.
I think you fucking love it.
Gam.
I think you love it as well.
Okay,
I would say a 9 or a 10, legitimately. I would probably lean more towards a 9.
I don't think a 10. I don't think it's a 10.
I would lean more towards a 9,
8.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I fucking hate this.
Yeah, I hate this. It's a 1. No, so this is actually a really hard one for me to judge, but it's like somewhere between a 7 and an 8. It's like one of those, I look at my 7s and I'm like, yeah, you know, I think it's like better than these, but then I look at my 8s and I'm like, I don't think it's as good as these though.
Yeah.
So it's like somewhere in between.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like 7.5. Yeah. Somewhere in there. So,
so you're allowed to do points, but I'm not.
Yeah, fuck you. Anyway.
Amazing.
Let's get into some episode summaries, descriptions. Go.
Some summarization. Time to fucking spoil the shit out of everything.
Woo!
So, only in episodes 1, 4, and 8.
Yeah, exactly. Episode 1. So we start. And we see a small child, and he's fucking wide-eyed and looking all shocked like a child that's just woken up and seen Santa Claus. He's taken aback by some dolls that his grandfather and some of his friends made, and his granddad's just like, "Oh hey, you like these dolls that I made?" And he's like, "Wow, they're the most beautiful things in the world. I want to make them." And grandfather's just like, "You know what? Thanks for that. One day, you'll be good at making them too, kid, if that's what you want to do. Just a little bit of practice. You'll be just as good as me." And then some fucking bitch comes in and is like, "Wow. I hate you. Why do you like girls' dolls? Why did you like boys' things? I hate you. You're a piece of shit. Ew, go die." And then dude wakes up and he's a lot older and he's like, "Oh, that's right, I'm in high school." And he says good morning to his little doll that he makes. And
good
then
morning.
It's an intro.
Yep.
It's an intro. Oh my god, all these characters that we have no idea who any of them are.
It's all the same character, plot twist.
It's all the same character. Plot twist. This is a really fucking weird show. Every character is exactly the same. We cut back to this guy, and he's gone downstairs, and he's living with his grandfather, it seems. And his grandfather's just like, you know what? Keep at it. You keep doing what you want to do. But you're in school. You keep at school too. By the way, do you have any friends?
What?
Wrecked. 2 minutes into the show, fucking wrecked.
The main character just spits and is just like, definitely, yeah, I have friends. And he's like, "Oh, thank God. For a second, I thought you were a fucking loser with no friends because all you do is sit inside all day making dolls." Whew,
Can't you be into boys' things? Why do you like dolls?
Yeah, I fucking hate you, piece of shit. But Granddad, you like dolls too. Shut up.
I do this to make money, son. Sorry.
But Granddad, you have such a passion for it.
Oh, fuck. Anyway.
So, he goes to school, and yep, he's in high school, and he has no fucking friends. None at all. What a fucking loser. his only hobbies that he has are making these Hina dolls. So he doesn't go outside and do things, and because it's a class as a weird hobby, he would just weird people out. So he just kind of is alone. Then the secondary main character fucking dies. Marin fucking slips over and goes flying and lands on his desk. It cracks her head open and fucking dies. He gets all flustered and dies as well because she's like, "Oh my god, are you okay? Like, what, are you bruised at all?" Thinking he has a bruise on his arm. Nope, it's just some ink from when he was doing his little hobby earlier. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. I'm fine, everything's fine. I'm fine, how are you? Or in conversation anyway. Anyway, she moves on. And he's like, "Oh my god, yeah, I'm just a boy, and she's just a girl. Can I make it any more obvious?" We cut it. Spooky gets it because it's a reference to Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, it's true. I made Avril Lavigne a card to say, "I hope you get over your laryngitis," when I was a child.
That is so adorable.
Yeah, and then posted on DeviantArt and asked if anybody knew her home address so I could mail it to her.
Can I say I like the implication that I have no idea who Avril Lavigne is?
You don't. I'm the only one that knows Avril Lavigne.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Where was I? Oh yeah, we cut in on like Marin's conversation with her friends, and they're talking like, "Oh, why didn't you like go out with that guy earlier?" And we cut to a flashback of it, and the dude is like an absolute fuckboy. He's hot, but he negs her and is like, "Oh my god, you like this? You're such a nerd, ew, ha ha ha." And she just goes all cold eyed and just goes, "I don't fucking care," and just walks away. She's like,
"You're lame, asshole."
Yeah, you're fucking lame, asshole. So it's like, okay, she's cool, she doesn't like fuckboys, got it. And the main character is just like, she lives in a world where she's accepted for who she is, and she seems comfortable with it. She's in a completely different world to me. Foreshadowing. Anyway, cut to the end of class, and he's on duty cleaning the classroom, and with a hope of other students, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta go to work. Can you do it?" And he's like, "Sure, I guess." And they're like, "Oh, you shouldn't lay it all on him to do." They're like, "No, he doesn't mind." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't mind." Anyway, they go off to work, so he just starts cleaning himself. Then Marin walks in. She's like, "What? I'm on cleaning roster." And he's like, "What? Oh no, I'm alone with her now." And she's like, "Wait, aren't there meant to be more people here?" And then he's like, "Yeah, they had jobs or something." And she's like, "Wait, and all of them? And they all just left you alone?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine." And she just went, "You know they're just using you, right?" He's like, "Oh, what? No, they said I was reliable." And she's like, you need to speak up for yourself and stop letting them take advantage of you like that." He's like, "What?"
I mean,
anyway,
yeah.
we cut along to a few nights later, and he's doing his little hobby, doing a little bit of sewing, doing a little bit of cutting, and he can't stop thinking about what she said, and then he accidentally cuts himself with the scissors. Oops. Needs to get another bandage on his fingies, and then his sewing machine dies, and it's like, fuck. An old sewing machine finally kicked the dust. But thankfully, the school has a sewing machine in a home ec class. So he'll just use that after school, because thankfully they don't have any clubs that use it, so no one will know he's in there. So he's in there sewing, doing his little thing, and then, Marin walks in.
He drops his spaghetti out of his pockets, but instead of spaghetti, it's a Hina doll.
Yeah, but instead of spaghetti, it's a Hina doll, and instead of a Hina doll, it's actually spaghetti. But instead of spaghetti, it's actually a Hina doll.
His passion all along has actually been to be an Italian chef.
He actually wants to be a pile of spaghetti.
Or that.
He catches the doll after it slips from his hand, And he starts talking to her, being like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you hurt?" And then freezes as he realizes, and he's worried that she's about to berate him for, being weird and sewing. But then she just absolutely gushes over his work and thinks it's amazing that he sews, and is like, "Wait, you can sew? Oh my God, that's amazing!" Blah 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 blah. And he's just like, "Ah!" And then he's just like, I love the Hina dolls, but I only know how to make the clothes so far. And then she's just like, wait a second. And then she just starts undressing, and he's like, what? What? And then she puts on a little costume that she's sewn herself, and she's like, what do you think? And he's like, okay, well, this is terrible, this is terrible, this is terrible, I can't believe you did this. Why'd you do this? This is fucking awful. What are you fucking thinking? You fucking piece of shit. Can't even do anything right. And then she starts crying, and he's like, oh God, I've gone too far. And she's just like, I don't know how to do this. Can you help me? Can you make this for me? And he's like, what? Okay. And she's like, wait, really? And then she's just like, yay, all I've ever wanted to do is to cosplay. Thanks. You can help me make this costume for insert incredibly raunchy thing here. And then he instantly regrets it, and it's the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. I want to say, in the next episode, I think it is, he, borrows the visual novel from her to get references for the image, and he's just, studying it. He's sitting there, super intent, watching this, playing this, sex VN, and his, grandpa walks by, and he's like, oh, he's at that age, I guess, and he's, so focused, and,
Oh, no.
He's at that age, I guess, and he's just like, oh, the hem of this is a little bit higher than I thought it was.
Yeah. It's silly.
God.
Anyway, episode 4.
Yes,
episode
Spooky.
4.
Episode 4. So, apparently there's a convention in 2 weeks, and he's stressed because he thinks it's a deadline and he has to get the cosplay done in time, and if he doesn't, she'll be disappointed, and that can't happen because it'll make him very sad, and her very sad. And he has a borderline nervous breakdown about time limit on the train, but then he goes home, but he's a little bit late, and his grandpa walks over, and he's like, oh, what were you doing? Oh, what'd you buy? And he picks up the bag that he bought, and fishnet stockings fall out, and he's like, ah! And he has a heart attack. Or breaks his coccyx or his hip or something. Anyway, Miori is here, I assume the sister, niece, something like that. And her dad
cousin,
is
I think.
Yeah, it's
uncle?
Gojo's cousin.
Okay. And her dad is the uncle in the family and is offering to take care of Grandpa for the time being. And he's like, okay, sure, but bring me my brushes. I need my fucking brushes.
My brushes.
I can't see without my brushes. I need my brushes. Anyway.
You will hand me the brushes.
The brushes. He's... No, not my brushes. Anyway, he's now stressed out about his grandfather almost dying, and the blonde is sympathetic to all of it and offers that if there's anything she could do, like cook, she'll help. And he's like, no, it's fine. And then all of us... Go ahead.
Really quick, just on that note, it's also established later that she can't fucking cook at all.
I was about to say,
yeah.
I should have said it during the commentary, but I was like, she can't fucking cook.
Yeah, she thinks she can, and she shows Gojo a picture of her food, and he's like, what? You just dump convenience store chicken on top of rice, and it's not even, good shit. She just mixes shit together.
Oh my god.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And also at this exact point, I don't know about Spooky, but me and Gam looked into our monitor and we were very confused because it just looked like a mirror at this point.
Yeah, no, and I watched this the first time.
Relatable.
I was like, yeah, this is relatable as fuck.
Anyway, so he needs to go back home because there's exams that he needs to study for that he forgot about, and also he has to run the doll shop, and also she's like, let's trade phone numbers so we can talk, and he's like, okay. And then he also is running the shop, and someone calls and is like, do you do tours? I want to do it tomorrow. I have a friend from France, and they leave tomorrow, and it's the only time he'll ever be able to see it. And he can't say no. And then I look straight into the mirror. And then, so he tries studying and doing all the things and doing the tour and even the pattern making and all the things. And the exams are still happening, even though everyone's excited to be done. All he's doing is thinking about the outfit and leaves quickly. So Blonde has gone to the shop to check on him. Or no, I think she goes to like her to see if she's checking on the grandpa, but he's not.
Well, their house and their shop are the same thing. So she went to check on him, and then she's like, "Oh, he's not home. He must be with his grandpa."
Yeah. The reality of the situation is even though she brought him protein, what was it? Energy enhancing food.
It was like hold on. It was stamina beef bowl. Thank you very much.
Stamina beef bowl. Okay.
Yeah, come on, please do.
Get the fucking details.
I'm sorry. Anyway, cut to inside the house where all the lights are off. It's covered in trash and none of the clothes are done. Nothing's done. Dishes in the sink. And he's like, I feel sick. I can't even sleep. I'm so anxious about everything. And I'm worried about other people more than anything else. And their opinions matter more than anything. Flashback to him being told to work every single day and use his brushes every single day. He hasn't used them in weeks. He also worries that he is half-assing everything, has a huge emotional breakdown, and the mirror became very bright and reflective, and flashback about asking Gramps if he gets tired of making dolls, and he says, no, I love it, but it is tough. You know, it does get really freaking tough. But I get really happy when I see other people happy with what I made. And he remembers all the time Blonde Lady was happy about the outfit, so he's like, I could do this. And so he starts on the cosplay again because it'll make her happy. But he's lost his scissors, and he's literally so desperate he cuts thread with his teeth, which is terrible. Don't do that, please. And then that morning when he like texts her and he's like, it's finished, I'm going to sleep. And then when he's awake the next time, he shows off the outfit and she's just like, and she wasn't actually apparently going to cosplay at the event, and she never meant to say it that way and put him in a rush, so he just collapses, and she's like, oh my god, I am so sorry, I didn't realize what I had said, and now he's happy that he has time to finish it, but then Kita just starts to fucking sob, because she realized how hard he was working and everything that he had gone through, and how it's her fault, because she thought he was going to his grandfather's, when really he was working on her outfit and studying and doing all these things. And he's like, just, you know what, just put it on so we can see what needs to be fixed up. You're happy, right? And she's like, of course I'm fucking happy. And
I'm so happy.
He's like, okay, we're gonna brush your hair and get all your makeup exactly right. And she's like, I don't have false eyelashes. He's like, I do. And she's like, wait, are these your girlfriends? He's like, no. Hina dolls have eyelashes lately because it's the hip thing, and also they have updated makeup. So
and then he turns to his Hina doll and he's like, it's okay, she doesn't know that we're dating.
and he has like this whole like borderline beauty YouTuber like interaction with her about makeup and what she should do to make it look the way she wants. And he admits that he wants to make gorgeous dolls, and he's like, wait, no, I didn't mean to say that, that's not important. And she's like, shut the fuck up. Stop it. I'm supporting you. And he's like, ah, and smiles. And she's like, oh, that's cute. And they talk about like her eyebrows needing to be a different shape. So she's like, you know what? They grow back, and just shaves them off. Yeah. Because fuck it. And then she gets into her cosplay slowly. And then she like goes like, hey, like, do I look okay? And they like both look at each other and they're like, oh my God, you're perfect. And it's like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. She's very happy. She's like, finally, I am Shizuku-tan from Slippery Girls 2. Very long title, insert it here, you know?
Hold on, I want to find out what it is again.
It's so fucking stupid. But yeah, I like this episode. I love the line where he's like laying on the floor and he's like, even if you love doing something, it doesn't mean that you'll ever be good at it. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Okay, so it was in fact Saint Slippery's Academy for Girls, the Young Ladies of Humiliation Club, debauched Miracle Life 2.
There we go. Anyway, episode 8.
Episode 8 starts with everyone dead.
The end.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
Roll credits.
Just kidding. Haha, got you. Ha 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 ha. So it starts off and Maren is looking at some photos of some people. I don't know if they're friends. I don't know if they're just random people that she stole their phone from. But looking at some cosplay photos that were taken. And it looks like two sisters are sitting next to each other. They're all sort of having lunch together. And they're sort of talking about doing cosplay and talking about, how, like, taking photos and, like, oh, hey, we're borrowing, like, our dad's DSLR camera to take this. And, like, I take the photos and upload them under account because my sister doesn't want to deal with all that. She just cosplays for herself. Whereas, like, I want people to see these amazing photos of her because, like, I think she's great at it. And
I aspire to be Juju, where she's like, I do this for myself.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what other people think. I'm like,
Mhm.
hell yeah, let's go, girl.
Hell yeah. And then we get this, like, massive tutorial on, like, how to use a DSLR camera. Of, like, here's all these things you can do. Here's all the different lenses and things you can do with, like, backgrounds and foregrounds and blurring and focus to blah, 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 blah. It's like, wow. And Marin's just like, wow, I should get one. We should get one for my cosplay. And then Gojo looks up how much they cost and realizes, oh, that's very expensive. DSLR cameras are very, very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, well, we'll just have to save up for one then. He's like, what? You're not discouraged? Even though it's really expensive? Anyway. Like, time to location scout. They're gonna look for locations to take photos of cosplay. And they go to this abandoned hospital building looking place. And we get another tutorial on, like, using reflectors to get the light balance just right on your subject when taking a photo on the outside. And using the flash, etc.
Around the outside.
Around the outside. Juju saw Marin's pic, and then we get this whole thing about, like, Juju doesn't want to go inside the building, seems a little bit scared by something, or like something's holding them back, and Gojo sort of goes to her and is like, hey, like, what's up? There's clearly something going on. And she just goes, listen, I saw Marin's pics and just became immediately jealous, and I hated how jealous I was of her. Like, I saw it and I was like, I want to wear something made by the person who made this. And in that moment, like, hearing something like that sort of amount of praise, he realized when he told his grandfather all those years ago how beautiful the dolls were and how he wanted to follow in his grandfather's footsteps. He realized how happy he made his grandfather, and he starts crying, and scaring the shit out of her.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, thank you so much. I'll do everything I can to help you. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then she passes out because it's the first time a boy has touched her hand.
It's
anyway,
true.
we cut through, and finals are finally over. They did it. They did their exam, and immediately Marin's just like, hey, let's go to the beach each right now. Nimki Minjaj. And Gojo's like, what? Okay. And so they're eating the nice tasty little burger on the beach. And then they're talking about, oh, like, so are we gonna do any, like, cosplay photos? And she's like, no. And he's like, well, I know you want to do some location work and, like, do some shoots outside. And she's like, no, it's the end of school, finals are done, let's go to the beach. And then a bird comes by and steals her fucking burger.
Yeah. Potato, bang!
Burger!
And then they're just like, okay, what we could do is we could sit down on the mat and then, like, worry about, like, eat quickly so the bird doesn't maybe the bird will go away. And then Gojo's is like, I have an idea. Grabs the fries and throws them at the bird. The bird picks them up and then flies away. It's just like, there, we did it. We don't have to worry anymore. Don't worry about the fries. It's fine. And then they basically just sit down and have a real cute beach date. Eating the tasted burger. Myron's just like, I'm gonna go run in the water. Because, I have an impulsive decision and I want to just act on it. Fuck it. I'm young and free. So she takes her shoes off and runs in the water. And that's when Gojo realizes, oh man, I really am smitten by her. She's just like, are you looking? Look at this seaweed I found. He's like, oh yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking all right. And then he goes and joins her in the water, and she he's like, oh god, I'm sinking. Like, oh, what's this feeling? She's like, it's almost like you've never been to a beach before. And he's like, yeah, I haven't. She's like, what? He's like, what? And she's like, what? And he's like, yeah, all I ever did was draw and try and make Hina dolls. Of course I haven't been outside. I don't do anything else. He's like, oh. And he's like, yeah, there's a whole heap of things that I wanted to do, but I never did, because all I ever really wanted to do was just this Hina doll stuff. So I was like, and she just stares at him and goes, we should do all the things that you wanted to do, just the two of us. And he's like, really? She's like, yeah. And then she runs away and goes, I can't believe I just said just the two of us. Oh god. Oh fuck. Oh god. But I get to see him all summer.
Yeah.
Oh god. And then she looks back, sees him in the water, and takes a real good big photo of him. And she's like, oh no, I'm smitten with him too. And then he slips over on the seaweed and fucking dies in the water.
Yeah.
And the seagull comes in for seconds. And then it's over.
Yes.
Oh no, I lost my train of thought. There was something that I wanted to bring up from what you said.
What about the Hamburglar?
No. Oh, I was gonna say, because I didn't show you guys any, but it was on the comment of her running back with her face, she's blushing and she's like, oh god, I can't believe I asked that, whatever. I didn't get to show you, I didn't come up in any of the episodes that I showed you guys, but one of the things I really like about this series is, I feel like with most slice of life romance comedies like this, there's always this weird oh, what is this feeling? Oh, I don't like them. Oh, blah blah, weird stretching out of in episode 8 they'll finally be like, oh my god, maybe I like them or whatever. It's episode 5, I think, or 6. It's kind of, I should say, it doesn't happen until about halfway through, but it feels really early because the first 5 episodes are just the first outfit, so they haven't really known each other that long at that point, But she's just instantly, she's not oh, what's this feeling? She's literally, looks at him and she's like, oh god, I love him.
Yeah, she knows what it is.
Yeah, she uses the term love, and then there's an episode where she goes, oh god, I don't just love him, I think I actually love him. And I'm like, that's fucking cute.
That is cute.
But yeah, and I really like it. It's just it's nice. I don't know. It's nice to just see a character being this is how I feel. Wow. And she totally falls for him first. He's obviously into her, but he's wow, a friend, neat. And she's like, oh god, I'm totally head over heels. And it's just aw, cute. Yeah. This is adorable.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
But yeah, it's a nice show. It has really, really, really good moments in it.
It feels not over the top and actually relatable and kind of real, so to speak.
Well, like I said, it goes over the top, but in in ways that feel realistic. It doesn't, go out of its way to have a oh no, like an icky tozen
Yeah.
of like, oh no, now like her panties are in my face.
Right,
sort of thing.
right.
Like,
yeah, shit like that.
Like that's just over the top, like bullshit. It's like over the top in ways that make sense and just heighten the emotions in the scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, hey, this makes sense to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's a very enjoyable show. Like, I looked forward to it every week that it aired. And obviously it's a newer show. I'm sure you've both seen Maureen all over Twitter. Like,
yeah.
She's super popular. And for good reason, you know.
I mean,
I like her and
Juju
Juju a lot.
Deserved.
Yeah.
We did in fact see her while watching this too.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
I think it is deserved though, because it's not just like, you know, oh my god, hot character. It's like, no, she's actually a really good character.
Yeah, she's like really encouraging. I loved because going into this, I should say, I had a friend who read the manga, and he always said, like, I like this manga, it's nice, it would be cool if it got an anime. And the only thing I really knew about it, because he didn't want to, like, you know, tell me too much about it or anything, he just gave me, like, the basic summary, which was, like, you know, it's about this guy who, like, sews clothes for, like, Hina dolls, and he meets this girl who, like, wants to cosplay, and he helps her, like, with her cosplays and shit. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds pretty chill, whatever. And then it got an anime, and he was like, oh yeah, you should definitely check this out this season. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll check it out. And whenever the actual, like, it starts and the story is like, I have this hobby that I love and I want to make, like, my whole life about, but I'm too nervous to share it with people because it's, like, all that I have, and I feel like I can't talk to them about it. And then Maureen's whole thing is, like, no, I love my hobby. Like, I love my hobby. I want to talk about it with everyone. Like, don't be ashamed of what you love. I was like, oh shit, like, this is actually, like, gonna be really good, isn't it? And I don't know, I think that's, like, I feel like it's a message that doesn't really get told a lot in shows and stuff. Especially
it gets told in, like, one sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
It gets, like, you know, the sort of, like, don't be embarrassed about this. It's like, it doesn't go through what it's like to be.
Like, the analogy of, like, you know, she's living in a different world than me is, like, so relatable. And just, like, the whole, like, yeah, like, it takes him a long time to be comfortable with, like, what he does, you know? And yeah, no, it felt really good to be like, oh, okay, that's, like, a core message of the show, which is, like, super fucking cool. Like, do what you love, pursue what you love, and give it everything that you got, you know? And don't be ashamed of it. And it's like, damn, okay, cool. Like, I kind of wish I would have had this when I feel
nice
like
to have heard that as a child.
Yeah, right? Like, if I would have had this anime when I was younger, granted, not too young because I wouldn't have fucking grasped it. I would have been like, this is stupid, it doesn't have action and blood, you know? This isn't Ikitozen. Ikitozen's so much better. Where's Elfin Lied, you know? But, no, fucking, you know, like, I just feel like there are definitely points in my life where, like, if I would have had this, it would have been like, oh, shit, okay, yeah, like, maybe this is a little bit eye-opening in a weird way, you know? It's not this, like, crazy profound show. It's just kind of, like, this, like Dear said, like, relatable, like, casual thing that's like, hey, don't fucking be ashamed of shit you like. And it's like, oh, damn, okay, gotcha.
Spooky, I really hate this mirror that you've put in front of us. Can
right?
I just say?
Right.
Like, this extremely large mirror that's now looming so far over me. It is, like, over my head.
Very big black mirror.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then there's, like, a whole thing, too, because, and we didn't get to see this. So, the girl that takes the pictures for Juju, that's Juju's little sister. And so Maureen and Juju are the same type of cosplayer, where they're the type of cosplayer where they're like, you know, oh, yeah, I really like the show. This character's my favorite, but I'm not going to cosplay them because I don't fit them, you know, like, oh, their body type's not like mine. Oh, I don't look like them enough, so I'm going to cosplay this other character from the show instead. And they're both kind of like that. Like, they're the, and I've met cosplayers like that, totally fine. They're just like I want to be as accurate as possible, whatever. And we kind of saw briefly in episode, it was in episode 8, yeah, whenever they're at the table and she's like, oh no, I don't want to cosplay, I just want to take photos. Gojo, like, realizes, like, no, she kind of does want to cosplay, so he, like, asks her about it one-on-one, and is like, why don't you cosplay? Like, it's obvious you want to. And she's like, my sister takes this so seriously, and I don't want to, like, let her down, like, the characters I want to cosplay don't fit me, and I don't have, like, I'm too young to get a job, so I can't, like, pay for a really good cosplay, blah, blah. And Gojo's like, okay, we'll work with your low budget. We're gonna make you the cosplay. Who do you want to be? And she's like, I want to be this male character from the Magical Girl show. I like him the most. So they put together, like, a cosplay. She just uses, like, his, like, uniform pants because they look close enough, and they, like, get a shirt and stuff. They like, use stuff to, like, bind her chest and everything, and, like, get the wig, and, like, he, like, tries to do her makeup to look more like the character, and, and she's all nervous because she's like, well, I kind of look like him, but I'm not that accurate, I'm scared. And then, like, when Marian and Juju see her, they're just like, oh my god, that's so cool, like, you like to cosplay too, why didn't you tell us, this is awesome. And it's just like, I love shit like that, you know what I mean? It's like, they're not gonna be fucking offended that the little sister wants to cosplay and can't fucking afford this expensive shit, No, like, they're not gonna care that somebody else wants to be a character that they don't, like, they can't, like, look completely accurate to, Yeah. And that was, like, a nice little subplot. I was like, this is nice. Like, I don't know. There's just something about this. Like, they know how to tackle these issues without making them, like, this overly dramatic, like, what other shows would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't turn it into a point of drama.
Yeah.
Or a plot point that is a point of God, what's the narrative term for not the problem, the conflict, that's it. Yeah, they don't turn it into a point of conflict.
Yeah,
like,
the conflict.
Oh, shit. Like, oh god, we have to make sure they don't find out.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh, why were you worrying about this? Ha ha ha.
Yeah, or fine. It's not like the conflict isn't the sister not approving, Like, the conflict isn't about the other people or anything. The conflict is all just each character. Yeah, exactly. Each character has, like, their own anxieties and stuff. And I'm pretty sure that the title of that episode is, like, everyone has their own struggles or something like that. And it's like...
You sure it wasn't the boob bag one?
Yeah, the boob bag one. But yeah, I think every episode title, by the way, is a quote from the episode, which is just a fun little thing.
I think I realized that after the first step. I thought I was like, they just.
It was for the second episode that got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed, like, little things like that. I don't know. It's like, because it's true. Like, a lot of the times, the conflicts with that stuff is just like, it's just you. It's like, here's these anxieties and even, like, from past events, like, Gojo had a bad experience, so therefore he thinks, if there's even a chance of that happening again, he would rather just not. And it's like, wow, yeah, yeah,
Wow, this mirror is really shiny and reflective.
Right.
It's a big bright mirror.
Yeah, I also really love the art in this show, like, a lot. I think they did a really good job with it.
It is really lovely.
I think this was, like, A1 and Cloverworks, which means, like, nothing to you guys, but they do pretty shit.
Those are words.
Yeah, Cloverworks did Shadow's House. We watched that show.
Oh yeah,
and that show's also pretty. So yeah, like, they just do their stuff looks good. That's another thing I like. I don't know. I just liked it. It was a good time.
Sometimes it has substance.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Good times. Mm-hmm. I think there's a good balance of, like, comedy and not comedy. I don't know.
Yes, the two genders. Comedy and not comedy.
Comedy and not comedy. Like, it just feels balanced. It feels real. I don't know. Like Gam said, it just, everything kind of fits. Like, the comedy doesn't feel, like, just kind of shoved in there. Like, it's
I think it's also the comedy isn't like making fun of the characters.
You're right.
Oh, God.
Like
It's not punching
it's
down.
not like yeah, it doesn't punch down on them. Like, you know, there's not in the scene where Marin finds out that he can sew. It's not like, you know, there's this whole elaborate thing of like him like drawn to look like an idiot or like drawn to look sort of ridiculous. Like the scenario in which, you know, like it's taken seriously. Like him nearly dropping the Hina doll and then catching it isn't taken as a joke. It's kind of taken pretty seriously. But also there's like it's sort of like, yes, this is funny, but it's serious to them.
Right,
sort of thing.
right.
Whereas like, yeah, the scenario in and of itself is kind of funny. She walks in on him sewing, but the humor doesn't come from he's pathetic for sewing. The humor comes from the way that they react to each other.
Yeah,
And
exactly. It's like the situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a proper, you know, situational comedy instead of a, you know, shitty character punch down a boring thing.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of like it's why a lot of fucking anime that does do that really like turns me off real quick. Because it's like I don't ever find it funny. I actually find it annoying.
Okay.
When it's like, oh, we're taking a second to have an over the top laughing reaction to this thing right here. Oh my god, this character is so embarrassed. Oh god,
Right.
oh my god, the embarrassment is killing. It's like, okay, I get it. You're heightening the emotion, but you're not heightening the emotion and like building up the character. You're like breaking them down with this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's
No, I
like,
get that.
You could be doing so much more.
Yeah, no, I get that 100%.
So then how do you really feel about this, Gam?
Well, I know I definitely want to go back and watch it all.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of agree with Spooky, like a 7 or an 8. I'd say an 8 though. Personally, like not because it's like it has problems, but just because like I don't think it's like must see, everyone has to see this sort of thing.
Right.
Or like it's like this is an amazing piece of art. Like I think this is really nice. And yeah, like Spooky said, if I did have this when I was younger, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to have had this. It's very much like an anime of comfort, and it makes me understand. Like, I already knew why people watch slice of life anime. I get it. For the most part, I don't like it, because it's like, I don't want to see people living a happy life. Like, or, you know, people going about their lives, because it's like, I don't fucking care. Wow, look at you. You got a great fucking life. Good for you, buddy. How's your fucking taxes?
Finished, thank you.
Which is why oh, I'm glad you did your taxes. Good for you, Spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Did it take you like 5 hours? Because mine only take me 5 minutes.
Oh, thanks.
I don't do my taxes. I have someone do them for me. So
That's all right. The person who listens to us from the IRS won't call you in.
Yeah.
remember to write off
but,
any PayPal fees on your taxes, kids. They
but no,
count.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I depending on situation and country, of course.
Yeah.
But
Don't listen to us for tax
No, yeah,
advice. We're not professionals. Okay, anyway.
we're not professionals. We barely even know the tax code in our own countries. But no, it's very much an 8 from like a point of like like a personal 8. Of,
Yeah.
Like, I think this is really good. It looks great. I feel like it has a really neat story. It's nothing profound or amazing or, you know, particularly hilarious. There are certain things in it that are really funny, but it's like, this is neat. I like it a lot.
Yeah. How about you, dear?
10 out of 10. I am going to show Max this. I absolutely adore this.
Hell yeah.
I could potentially cry at it, honestly. Like, watching the whole thing legitimately, because I'm going through a lot of shit. So yeah.
Traumatized.
Woo traumatized. Let's get traumatized.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Woohoo!
But yeah, I'm glad that you liked it. Honestly, this was a show going into it where I didn't know, like, how you guys would react, right? And when because I talked to one of my friends about the anime podcast, the friend that I always mention that, like, has seen a shit ton of anime and whatever. And, I've kind of, like, I told him about, like, whoops, that was a water bottle crinkling. I told him about, like, I tell him, like, you guys' like, scores usually. And he kind of knows to some degree. Like, I'll tell him, like, I'm showing them this show, and he's gonna be like, oh, your friend Gam's gonna hate that show. And I'm like, haha, yeah. But when I said my dress up darling, he was like, oh, they're gonna hate it. And then I was like, oh, yeah. And then I paused and I was like, actually, no, I don't think so. I think they're gonna like this. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how they're gonna feel about it, but I don't think they're gonna hate it. So I'm glad that I was right on the gut feeling of, I think they're gonna like this.
Suck shit, Spooky's friend.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Spooky's friend, you piece of shit. Don't ever come back here
you
again.
You're gonna be real bad taste in friends.
Yeah,
you're gonna get your ass
like
kicked if you come back here, Spooky's friend.
Yep. Get out of the call, Spooky. We're not friends anymore.
Okay,
no,
bye.
Spooky's friend. No, Spooky's friend. If Spooky's friend comes back here, we're gonna kick their ass.
Kick their ass!
We're gonna kick their ass!
We're gonna kick their ass!
But yeah, this was fun. This was fun. This was a fun one.
Was that their
I'm
ass?
glad that we did this. What?
Nothing.
Ace!
Apparently I need to try fish on a burger now, so let's go.
Specifically whitebait, but yeah.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought that was a fucking anime name.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what the fuck
Burger.
is fish on a burger? Is that like a slice of life?
It's my
like,
second
what the fuck
favorite
is that?
anime, right underneath a cold slice of ham.
You know what? I'm just...
I prefer Cold Slice of Easter Ham, the sequel.
Yeah,
Oh my
you're
God.
right. You're right.
Oh my god.
But it's not as good.
Okay, let's go kick some ass. Let's go.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye,
Bye.
everybody. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.
We're gonna
When
kick
we
some
show Wallace and
ass.
Gromit.
And eat some ham. Oh, fuck. Oh, okay, but no joke. Can we actually do Wallace and Gromit?
Maybe.
If you can find a Japanese dub of it with subtitles.
Don't tempt me, because I
don't
fucking
tempt
will.
Cam.
I fucking will.
Hold on.
I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. Okay, Wallace and
Do it.
Gromit next week. Let's do this.
See you guys.